pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call of council. Councilmember Garberding. Here. Councilmember Jones.
Here.
Councilmember Taves.
Here.
Councilmember Oliveira. Here. Councilmember Putnam.
Here.
Councilmember Steiger.
Here.
Councilmember Walker.
I'm here.
Okay, are there any additions or changes to tonight's agenda? So it was council's pleasure, I would like to make an addition and ready for audience comment. I have invited Senator Miloscia to come speak to us and tell us what's going on down in Miloscia. Okay, any other changes or additions? All those in favor of the agenda as amended signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, great, thank you very much. Senator Miloscia, would you like to go ahead and address the council?
Thank you very much, Mayor. It's good for me to be here. I represent 6 cities here for the 30th district, and happen to say that I think your mayor, I know your mayor has seen me more than all the other cities combined. So when she invited me to come down here, I jumped at the opportunity to come down, meet you all personally, and just extend my my wishes to let's work together on all the issues that all of us share for the good citizens here of your great city. There's a lot of issues we deal with, and we can work together and make sure that we can meet together the needs of the constituents. And let's not just be the first and only meeting, but let's keep meeting here during session. Especially, I'd like to come down here when things are a little bit quieter after session, meet with all of you individually, and where we can work together on just budgetary and or policy goals. Your city has had some highs and lows, but I think you guys are headed in a great direction here right now. So I want to be there to help you get your job done better. So I consider myself your servant in that sort of manner. So let's keep the communication systems going. Real quick about what's going on in Olympia. One is, again, talking with your mayor, trying to improve this building. To try to work with you to get you some capital funds so that you can upgrade them to better serve the people who you all represent, and also your employees, to have a good facility here. The other issues we're working on, as you all may already know, we're trying to work on of course, meeting the big decision having to do with McCleary and school funding. To let you know, I'm a substitute teacher for 11 years, and I started working in the Auburn School District, and I've already taught your local elementary school here one time in December. So when I get done here in session, I'll be back teaching here in the Auburn School District, and again, I hope to be back at your elementary school teaching there, and we can work together on education and those needs. A second issue which we're working on, and we're very proud of, we just passed out a transportation budget out of the Transportation Committee in the Senate. And so that's the first step. It's got to go through the Senate chambers and then through the House. And everybody's trying to work, but this is going to be the year we pass a good transportation budget to fund all the major projects. And there's a couple major projects here we're working on, 167, the triangle that are in this area, to make sure we upgrade and also get the resources to the local government for maintenance and making sure we keep our streets and our goods and services flowing. And of course, safety is a big issue this year, making sure we reduce all fatalities wherever they happen to be in our transportation system. And of course, and again, moving of goods and services through the ports and what that represents. The other issues that we're also dealing with, of course, we have the global issues which the government happens to bring up. We're trying to deal with issues of involving the environment, but trying to do it in a balanced and responsible manner. And lastly, my personal issues, which I focused many years of my service on, is trying to make sure all the governments we work and represent are run in an efficient and effective manner. My background in government and in the nonprofit and private sector has in quality, performance, and accountability. So I'm trying to bring those processes and systems of lean and assess, make sure we represent our citizens and everything we do is done with eliminating waste and improving their satisfaction. So those are the bills I happen to work with and happen to, again, be your servant, trying to help you work with the bureaucracy in the state capital in Olympia, make sure the local governments are true partners with the state government, again, in delivering services that are efficient, effective, and ethical. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions, but again, my name and phone number's in the book, and I'm willing to come down here anytime to meet with all of you individually to talk about issues of concern. So, but again, it's a pleasure working with you, Mayor, and let's keep up the communication.
Questions from council? Councilmember Sutton.
I realize you got your own transportation issues to deal with in Olympia, but is there any chance of getting more sustainable revenue flow for local transportation? I mean, cities all over the state are running out of money to do basic maintenance with the current system.
Yes, basic maintenance is kind of the buzzword this year. People are talking about whether it's TIB or some of the other issues dealing with local governments. Public Works Trust Fund is another one, not so much transportation per se, but linked to how do we get the resources to local government. There's a couple of bills moving through. We're working with representatives of cities and counties all the time. But you're right, maintenance is the key word everybody's focusing on this year. You know, we can do the mega projects, but if our bridges and our roads are deteriorating while we're doing it, it's kind of like robbing Peter to raise Paul. So let me tell you that Curtis King, Senator Curtis King, who's chair of the committee, has counted his fist, so to speak, on that issue numerous times. So expect improvements and expect us to reverse the trend of not funding basic maintenance and making sure we measurably reduce congestion wherever it is. That's another issue we're working on.
Any other questions from council?
You guys are easy. It's good to be here. Let's do this again. And again, my office is always welcome to you. And again, if you have to meet with any of you, and also with your citizens, you can call my office. Meet with any of you if you want to talk issues. That's the way other than campaign season, that's the best way for us to get to know what you're thinking. And shoot, I'll buy the cup of coffee, so wherever that may be. So again, thank you all for inviting me here, and let's keep talking.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. We really appreciate your time.
You bet.
Okay, next item on the agenda is audience participation. So first up, I have Steve Wiley.
I'd ask that Mr. Gingrich go ahead of me and I'd follow up if that's at all possible.
Sure, that's fine by me.
Hello. Hi, good evening. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Council, for the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Mark Gingrich. I'm with Murray's Disposal, the garbage and recycling company that services the Pierce County portion of your community. I'm the district manager of that location. And in the Pierce County portion, we serve approximately 85 businesses and 10 residential customers in the community. Our drivers take pride in providing great service, and we have no history of service complaints or service issues. And in addition, our business customers with dumpsters see a rate that is less expensive than your King County portion by between 18 and 28%. I'm here tonight because I had some concerns I wanted to talk about. Some concerns we had with the solid waste agreement that may soon to be brought to council from the provider that does the King County portion of your community. One of the concerns we have is that maybe that not all parties have been recognized or have had explained our legal and contractual position in the Pierce County portion of the community. Additionally, the extension amendment we agreed to in August, it reiterated our long-standing franchise rights in the areas we currently serve. When we agreed to extend our service agreement with an amendment last August, our understanding both in the conversation and in the ordinance publication was that we are enacting an extension to allow all parties, the city, ourselves, and the other service provider, to give all parties time to complete new franchise agreements. The agreement and the ordinance that was publicized states, whereas the city intends to negotiate a new franchise agreement with Murray's Disposal to commence July 1st, 2015, and to allow sufficient time for the city and Murray's to negotiate a new franchise agreement, it is in the best interest of the citizens of the city to amend and extend. So as clear as that amendment was in terms of talking about the good faith agreement between the city and Mary's Disposal to renegotiate the Pierce County portion. Again, the concern we have is maybe not everyone's fully been up to speed and explained on this issue in terms of this other service provider thinking that they can provide service to the entire community, including that Pierce County portion. We've asked several times, communicated with staff for direction on this issue to make sure we're kind of informed throughout the process as you continue to work with the other service provider, and staff recommended that this would be a good forum for us to come and explain and educate our position. We've also want to make sure it's understood that when we continue to serve the Pierce County portion, those 85 businesses will continue to see those lower rates that they always have, which is, like I said, about 18 to 28% lower for the business dumpsters in that section than the other section of the community. We have reached out to several council members, including Councilman McCabe and Steiger, showing our interest in trying to see if, hey, we can not only do the Pierce County portion, but your King County portion, and understand that that's, may not be an option. However, the minimum, due to unresolved legal issues, we would definitely urge everyone to hold off on implementing a unitary agreement at this point until everyone fully understands the contractual and legal situations with that. So I appreciate council's time and Mayor, your time as well.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, and I believe that this is going to be discussed in committee as well, correct? With the solid waste committee and finance?
Looks like we have something to discuss.
Okay.
That wasn't how I recall the agreement to extend the Marine.
I don't want to have that discussion, I want to make sure that this goes back. Okay, Dave White.
Hi. Thank you for your time this evening. Just briefly, this whole issue just came to my attention last week. I'm the attorney for Murray's Disposal. I happened to speak with Ms. Morris on Friday, your city attorney, about our interests and concerns about the issue. We had a healthy conversation, and as you heard, our client was asked to come here tonight to just raise the issue from the staff and council's standpoint. We do believe the implementing ordinance from last summer signaled an interest and an intent to continue the franchise relationship with Murray's Disposal. We have no reason to believe that's not still a possibility. We look forward to being asked to come to the table and to negotiate and to also discuss with staff various issues involving statutory rights, measurable damages, notice, the effect of cancellation of franchises, etc. Again, we have no reason to believe we won't come to full agreement. We just want the opportunity, as in tonight, to be at the table and to speak to the issues and to offer the services that have been provided. So that's all I have tonight. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much. This is connected to this one, to the committee, yes. To solid waste. John Worthington.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor. I'm here on the medical marijuana issue and your moratorium or ban that you just passed. I'm in the Kent case, and go before the Supreme Court on the 27th of this month, and the AWC led the cities astray on this issue. They didn't try to help guide the issue enough, and your ordinance isn't actionable because what will happen is the trial court will rule in your favor, because that's what happened in the Kent case, but the issues are debatable enough that you can get a stay on whatever judgment you try to get on the folks over there. So where the AWC is missing the boat, I think, is distinguishing between collective gardens and dispensaries. There are attorneys out there that have cooked up this distribution model that's based on a one patient at a time donation type of thing. And what I think you should be looking at doing in some of these cities, instead of taking a cue from the AWC, is distinguishing what is collective garden activity and having plants of 45 and patient groups of 10, and going from a storefront model to one of more security and storage. I don't think you want to push this issue back into the neighborhood. I think it's better off in the commercial zone. Specifically, 45 plants and 48 ounces or whatever, that's a lot of marijuana to be storing in a residential area. And I think if you change the model from the storefront model that they have going on, whether it's debatable, you know, like I said, and just make it a security and storage situation until the legislature decides. Right now, they're haggling over who gets to spend the money, and that's kind of what the AWC's drug you into. So, and then there's the issue of a council member that they've told me has come down and solicited them all for money. So now you're going to have that issue crop up. And we're getting tugged away from the real issue, I think, and that is whether or not they are a collective garden and what ground rules a community can lay for a collective garden so that you get more of a compromise, so you're not going to court and dragging it out and then not being able to enact your ordinance and really do what you're trying to accomplish. So, if you, I'm really oversubscribed, and I'm sorry I didn't get here earlier so I could give you a lot more information so you could process it. But I just wanted to let you know, people always turn to me because I'm the guy that sued Ken. So they want to know, what can we do, what's going on. So I'm advising them on the same thing that I just told you here tonight. Go to more security and storage. Try not to make it look like a storefront. And I urge you guys, I urge the city to try to adopt that rather than overreaching collective garden, even into the residential areas. So, and commercial power is cheaper, but a lot of these people, you don't only want them growing in the commercial zone. You want them to store it and secure it and not in the neighborhood, and I think that's a better way to go about it. I hope you consider it. Thank you.
Thank you. And at this time, council has banned all marijuana in the city of Pacific and has reserved the right to bring it forward regarding legislative session if anything develops from that. That's where the city is at this time. Councilmember Steiger?
Oh, we got to talk about marijuana, bring it up to council comment.
Okay, I don't have any other forms in front of me. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to the council on any items that are not on tonight's agenda?